Hey, this is Dr. Kit, uh, therapist, love and marriage, Huntsville. They call me Dr. Francis on that, but I'm Dr. Kit. And I see I got my own gig going. Hey, I just want to welcome you. Listen, I'm having a great time. I'm running just a little bit late, but I tell you what, listen, I'm way up in Calgary, the city of Calgary. Alberta is known for the Calgary Stampede. It's a horse racing around town. These people are crazy up here about horses, man. So, that's what I said. But anyway, I'm up here just taking care of some business and, and just seeing some friends that I know also. Some families are up here too. So it's been a really, really, really good time. I just want to say welcome to the Shake Up. It's at 6 a.m. p.m. where you are. It is 5 p.m. where I am. So, hey, listen, if I just mess up and call it the wrong time, listen, I'm in Calgary, Alberta, and I'm having a great time, a wonderful time. It's a beautiful city. You all should come on up and just look at it sometime. Okay, but here I am. Hey, listen, this is the Shake Up. There is no other show called the Shake Up on the planet. All right, so when you hear about the Shake Up, you're talking to and with Dr. Kit, and Dr. Kit's got something good for you because every week I bring it on. Either I answer questions that people pose and I didn't have time to answer those questions during the show. I will take a week out and I will answer 3, 4, 5 of those questions just so I don't have a backup, just so you don't think I'm ignoring you, okay? This is the kind of stuff that I do, all right? Now there are some other things that's going on, that I just need to talk to you and just inform you about. Okay, listen. On Sunday, I'm going to do this webinar. It's called 5 Tips for Keeping the Spark Alive in Your Relationship. Sunday, July the 2nd. It is free at 5 p.m. Central Time. I will be back in Huntsville at that time, so I won't be messing up with my time. Okay, let me tell you 5 tips for keeping the spark in your relationship alive. Listen, I know you want to keep the spark in your relationship alive, like some fire up in this thing, And so this is going to be Sunday, July 2nd at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, okay? Please just check in and we're going to talk about those 5 tips to make your marriage, your relationship spark up, all right? And then there are some other things that I'm doing. Listen, there's this rest stop, and this rest stop is going to be on September 24th. It's going to be in the big ATL. Now, we have some special rates until July the 31st. You got a whole month. July the 31st, couples will come in at $349. And we're talking about an hour. We're talking about from 8 a.m. until 4. You get a whole day for $349 per couple. Listen, where do you go and get something for $349 for a couple all day long? Some stuff on how to improve your relationship, refueling your relationship. Where you going to go get that for $349? I'm going to tell you, you're getting a really good deal, okay? And listen, if it's singles at the same, special rate, it's $185. I'm telling you, you're not going to beat this. So please, check in and see. Check and see. We're going to be sending out some more info on that, and you can also go on, Dr. Kit speaks at gmail.com. You can talk to my team there. It should be on my email, on my page, my webpage. That's drkit at gmail.com. So you can get all of this stuff on it, okay? Rest Stop, refueling your marriage, okay? So this is the Shake Up with Dr. Kit. Listen, I want you to do what? I want you to like this thing, because, I really like you. I'm hoping that you're going to like this thing, okay? That you're going to follow, not just for one session, but follow. You're going to share. You're going to subscribe, like it, follow, share, and subscribe. And I want to thank those of you who have been doing that, So now in about 5 weeks, you've pushed me to about just a little bit over 1,200 followers and subscribers, okay? So that's a good thing. And I really do like it. Oh, enough of that said. Now, listen, I got this... I got a great guest for you tonight. Very knowledgeable in various areas of life, refueling relationships. He's very good. But tonight he's going to talk just about one little smidget of the areas that he's really good at. I don't want to tell you what it is. I want you to see him. I want you to hear him. And he is going to do what? He's going to introduce himself. You know how it is with the shakeup. I don't introduce people. I let them introduce themselves. You know why? Because they are so much better at introducing themselves than I am introducing them. Okay, so right up now, 1, 2, 3. We're gonna bring my man in. Look at that! I just snapped before I could snap my finger. He just jumped right on in. Mr. Q, how are you, man? Good to see you.
Yes, sir. I'm blessed, Dr. Kit. I'm blessed, man. I'm happy to be here. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, man. Fine. You're
Praise
happy to be
God.
blessed. But I'm happy to have you on because I know you got something for our viewers and our listeners tonight. And I thank you, for taking your time out to be a part of this show. I'm just hoping a lot of other people would do that too. Just be a part, because you, like a lot of other people, have so much to share.
Absolutely.
So young, gifted people. And I'm just creating an avenue to host all of these so that the word can go out, that the whole idea that we've had about young Black people, young Black men, young Black women, just moochers and loafers. No, we're not that, man. We got some good stuff going on here.
Absolutely. We got a lot of good stuff going on.
You are going to continue the legacy, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. We're going to continue the legacy, man. So come on, tell us about yourself, and then tell people about yourself, and then tell us what you want to talk about tonight, what you want to engage us in tonight. Okay,
got you. So a little bit about myself is I'm a Huntsville native, born here in Huntsville, Alabama, born and raised. Got married about 4 years ago. It'll be our 4-year anniversary this year, this August. And I'm on here today just to really talk about a lot about health and well-being, and why it's so important in building relationships with people, and even in your personal relationship, in your marriage, as well as the people that you come into contact with. That's the main thing we want to focus on today. And then on the back end, of course, maybe it might tie into some other areas of your life also, but that's the main focus.
So you're going to be talk about health. Now, health is a pretty broad spectrum. It spans so much. And not only does health in and of itself span a very broad spectrum, but there are so many tributaries contributing to health. So kick the ball, man, and let's see where you want to take us tonight, okay?
Absolutely.
Right. Let's say this. As you're going through this, you folks out there, when you got questions, just pop them in, to my team at Dr.Kit Speaks at gmail.com. We'll try to answer some as we go through this evening. Go right ahead, sir.
Absolutely. So for starters, like you said, there's so many different facets of it, right? Of course, you have mental health as well as spiritual health and as well as physical. Today, we really want to kind of focus on physical health and why it's imperative to have that in your life. I'll use myself as an example. Throughout the course of the week, I may play basketball at least 2 to 3 times a week, and if I'm not able to play basketball, then I might just simply go for a run, and I might do 3 to 5 miles nonstop, right? But look, for somebody that's starting out and maybe new to the podcast, they may be thinking, man, that sounds like a lot. I keep saying I want to work out. I'm saying that I want to get more active, but I just have a hard time committing to something. So this is what I encourage people to do. Start off small. Even if it's one thing that you could do on a daily basis to change and start being more active from a physical perspective, then something is better than nothing. I actually took down a little note I want to share with you guys. I said, starting off doing one physical activity that can be easily managed is better than doing multiple ones that can't be sustained. Okay. And let me kind of just expound on that a little bit more. If you know that you want to get in better shape, right? Let's say you want to work on your arms, and you see these guys, they be cut, Dr. Kit. They got the biceps and the triceps out, right? Let's say, for example, you might not be able to do 100 push-ups a day. You might not be able to make it to the gym after work, but guess what you can do? You can start off at least doing 5 a day, right? You can start off doing 5. After that 5, guess what? After 2 weeks, you might be up to 10. And so little small baby steps that are easily sustainable are much better than you loading yourself up and saying, well, man, I just got a personal trainer. I told myself I'm going to run the days that I'm not with the trainer. I'm going to play ball in between. No. Let's just do one thing. Start off simple. Start off with one. And that's where I'm at for starters. So what was you finna say, Dr. Kit? You look like you was about to.
No, I was just thinking about this word commitment, and sometimes people are committed to things.
Talk to
People
me.
get
Come on now.
committed to things, my house, my car, all the things. But what I'm thinking about is, can you address the difference between being committed to the self? And that is not selfless, but being committed to the self as opposed to being committed to things, like even like working out.
Oh man. Let me speak on that. Me
Yeah.
personally, when you say being committed, this thing could get deep, Dr. Kit.
Hey,
When you
listen,
say,
man, that's what we do, man. We get the
hey, I
shovel out,
love
man.
it.
And take it
I
up,
love
man.
it. Let's shovel it on out. So
Yeah.
let's look at that, right? And let's really dissect this thing.
Yeah.
If you love yourself, you want to take care of yourself, right? Would everybody agree with that? So for example, my mental capacity, my mental headspace, I'm always, for one, let's say I start my day off with a prayer every day. And I thank God for waking me up in the morning. I'm setting the tone of how I want my day to go. And I'm starting off with an attitude of gratitude. Before I work out, before I go in there and kiss my wife, I wake up in the morning, I give God thanks. Okay. Then from there, now I'm setting the tone. I might go and do 10 push-ups. Okay. But I'm doing this because I care and I want to be here for the long haul. I'm doing the same thing I mentioned a little while ago. I'm taking baby steps, but I care about myself, so I want to do better. Now, for example, you have some people that just don't care. They're not committed, and they don't even know what commitment looks like, right? Everybody might be at a different place in their life, but the fact that I care, I want to do better. And I'm just going to do something that I know is going to make a difference long term, not overload myself, but I'm committed. And you said something there. You said, let's talk about that thing, commitment, and to self-care. When you take, oh man, thank you, God. God just gave me this, and this what it's down here on my notepad, but I'm gonna share it with you right now. Let me ask you something. If you're not taking care of yourself and making sure that you're good, how can you be good for anybody else?
Oh, watch it. And you're married, man. I'm glad you asked that. Can't take care of your wife.
Man, think about that, Dr. Kit. And I know you know this because you got so much knowledge for these people that are watching. But think about that, Dr. Kit. If I wake up in the morning, and let's say I wake up on the wrong side of the bed, let's say I don't pray, right? Or let's say I take a shower, I hit my foot on the bedpost, and then now I'm in a bad mood. I believe that when you stay on that wavelength, you are literally paving the way for how you want your day to go. You start off in a bad mood, unless you actively, consciously change that mindset, you are down a path to destruction the rest of the day. You start off in a bad mood, then you get cut off in the car, right? You go to work, you get into it with somebody, all because your energy is off. So make sure that yourself is good to start out with, so you can be good for your coworkers, your wife, the people that you're pouring into, the people in line at Walmart, the people that you're ordering food from at Starbucks, whatever the case is, or from a fast food restaurant. Make sure that you're good first, and when you do, you'll have more to pour into other people because you're coming from a genuine place. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Praise God.
It makes a whole lot of sense. But I'm thinking, and I know you address it, and I just want to kind of hit
Thank
it
you,
with
Yolanda.
a hammer. Yeah, hit it with a hammer. Yeah, man, Yolanda, hey, shaking it up. All right, yeah. I'm gonna hit it with a hammer, man, and that is, the importance of being committed to building, developing, sustaining, maintaining the best self possible. It's like this. See this thing right here? See this little thing right here? Let me hold it up for you. I can give this to you for one reason, because I got it. It's mine. But I can't give you what I don't have. I can't share with people, nuggets of good,
I like where you're
physical.
going. I like where you're
If
going. Go ahead. Go
I'm
ahead.
not good, I can't pump my biceps unless and say, hey, let's, you got that to it. Your age. Yep, I got it, man. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because I'm still committed to me.
Yes.
To me. And in a little bit, I want to talk too about the energy that you get from just working out that impacts positively on other areas of your life. All right. Listen, said this is Kim said, but for some of us that have been taking care of others that all their life, it is extremely hard to learn to take care of yourself. Kim, yes, when you've been, masculine. Yeah, yes. Cam, we need to answer that. I don't know if we can get to that this week, but I'm going to tell you what, we're going to deal with it. We're going to deal with it at some point, one of those weeks when I have just take some time to answer questions. So, but I will answer that. But man, I can give this to you.
You can give that to me.
I can give it to you.
Yes.
Why? Because I have it.
Yes.
It's hard for me to demonstrate to other people how to take care of myself physically. What, can you help me out with that?
Yes. I like to lead by example, right? So for example, I use the example that, hey, look, I might run 3 to 5 miles, or I might go and play basketball 2 to 3 times a week, right? I was doing push-ups every day to the point my wrist hurt, right? But now, from a commitment standpoint, if I'm telling somebody else, hey, look, man, let's say somebody tells me, hey, look, Q, I want to work out. Am I a personal trainer? No, but I'm really health conscious, and I'm really big on health, right? So whenever I do something, guess what I do? We use this thing called social media every day, right? I post it. I post, hey, look, you guys just ran X amount of miles, got the blood flow pumping, this, and that. To me personally, when you do that and you put that out there, you're encouraging and inspiring somebody else that might have a fear of starting. Now they have a little bit of inspiration to do it. I was thinking about walking. You know what? That might be a sign from God. I might need to start. I ain't doing nothing the next couple of hours. Let me go out and do a lap around the block. So from me actually putting myself out there, in my opinion, that's leading by example, because guess what? You can only speak on something if you're actually doing it, And then this thing, let's get deep with this thing, Dr. Kit. When you start doing something, oh man, I got so much I want to say. when you start doing something, and you're getting not only results and stuff like that, and people see how happy you are. People see that, man, this brother, he's kind of lean, he's kind of cut, whatever. It's contagious. It is contagious. Let me speak on that. Have you ever seen anything? You ever sit down with somebody at a restaurant, Dr. Kit, and they order something that you may have never even thought about trying, and they say, hey, and let's say they say, hey, man, they kill it. It's like, man, that's pretty good. Let's say it's your wife, right? And it's like, man, that's pretty good. Hey, you want to try it? Yeah, let me try that. Oh, that is pretty good, right? And you witness it for yourself. The next time, you might even order what she did, because you just experienced the same joy that she did from that selection. It's the same way we're working out. When you work out and you do this, and people might either look at your results that you have, or they might just look and admire you from something that you posted, it lights a fire in them to want to do that. And let me speak on this too. I wrote down another just fun fact I want to share with you guys. A 2020 study by Marie Holland from the New York Post states that people who work out are happier, healthier, and more ambitious than people that don't. Let me speak to that. When you look at some of the most successful people in the world, and I'll just use a couple that everybody knows, for example, right? I'll use big names. When you look at somebody like a Kevin Hart, for example, this brother is a health nut. He might work out 5 out of 7 days a week, right? He's very, very driven, very ambitious. It seems like he's always in a good mood. Nobody's got it all together, but he's always in a happy mood, right? Why is that? Because he's taking care of himself. Every morning, this brother's getting up at 5 a.m. and he's putting the reps in. He's with the personal trainer. He's doing the push-ups. He's doing the dumbbells. He's running 2 miles here and there, right? And then guess what? When he gets on and he does these streams and stuff, why is his energy so high? Why is he so happy? Because he took the steps in preparation to say, hey, look, I'm going to make sure I'm good. I'm committed, as you said, I'm committed to making sure that I am good. Guess what? Because going back to it, if I'm not good, how can I be good for my fans? How can I be good for my wife? How can I be good for these movies I'm acting in? How can I be good for these stand-up sets I got? So Q applies the same little basic principles. Man, if I'm not good, how can I be good for my clients? How can I be good for my wife? How can I be good for my community when I'm doing these events and everything, right? It all starts with you, you know? And you look like you're in deep thought, my brother. But this is good stuff, man. I love you. Like, hey, man, that's some good stuff. You know,
listen, man, I'm taking it in. I'm taking it in, man.
I love it, man. You know.
Let me say, go ahead. Go on.
No, I was going to say another fact. I put this down in one of my notes as well. Is and this is actually brought to you from Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Because I don't want to get too far ahead, but I do want to share this. Regular physical activity is one of the most important things you can do for your health, of course, right? Being physically active can improve your brain health, help manage weight, reduce the risk of disease, strengthen bones and muscles, and improve your ability to do everyday activities. Pause. You telling me by doing regular physical activity, it's a trickling effect. And it taps into all of these other different areas of my life. That seems so simple. But I got a question for you, Dr. Kit. Why do you think people make it so hard?
Make it so hard to what? To work out?
Why do people make this so hard? It seems so simple. But why do you think people make working out or just starting that so hard to do?
Right. Okay, well, let me. I'm glad you asked me the question. Man, you're a great interviewer. You know, man, you ought to take the show, man.
Oh no.
Let me tell you, I wake up in the morning somewhere between 5:30. Okay, by about 7:30, after I've had my devotion, everything else, me and my wife, I'm at the gym, man, and I'm pumping 6 days a week.
Nice.
Like 6 days. When I'm talking about commitment, I've been committed to working out, Lord, regularly since I'm about 17 or 18.
Praise God.
The only time I don't work out is if I'm sick or if I'm traveling somewhere and I can't find a gym. I do some push-ups. But I do that. I really do that because you see, I embrace what I need for me. And so I need to get it by going to the gym and doing what I need. But let me just say that. Let me just say, you know what though? Q, you know what though, man?
Talk to me. If
you work hard, anything that works, okay, will consume energy.
So say that again. Say that again. People need to hear that.
Anything that works hard consumes energy. And in order for you to keep it working, you have to refuel it, right?
Yes.
So I'm talking now about diet. The kind of food you put in your body. So can you speak to the kind of food? Because, when you do that, it really touches on parts of, upholding and keeping your relationship intact. Is that an important piece in terms of framing and forming and keeping relationships alive and well?
Absolutely. Let's speak on that. For one, with every meal that I can actually, oh man, let's go in. I'm gonna rewind it back. I'm a lot better, God willing, by the grace of God, than I used to be. Let's rewind it back. Back in 2014, I had to have my gallbladder removed because guess what I was doing? I was out here eating Popeyes every single day. I was hitting up KFC, Taco Bell, McDonald's, you name it. And I was eating all of these spicy foods. I had to have my gallbladder removed and taken out, right? And for those of y'all who don't know, the gallbladder, what it does, it basically filters out the fat. It filters your fat in your system, your dietary system and stuff, right? So I had to have that removed. And so what I challenged myself to start doing is implementing and saying, hey, look, with any and every meal I'm going to eat, I'm going to incorporate a raw vegetable, spinach into my diet.
Oh,
Guess what? It's a lot of benefits that come with that. Spinach gives you energy. Instead of eating all this Popeyes and stuff, now guess what I'll do? Now Popeyes is good. I'm not saying it's not. It tastes good, but it's not good for you.
hey, wait for Popeyes no more.
Right? Yeah, you can't. Hey, it tastes good, but it's not good for you at all from a health standpoint. Of course, we know that. But good fatty foods like avocados, things that give you energy like broccoli. And my wife, because shout out to my wife. I was blessed enough that to marry a woman that can cook and throw down in the kitchen. Now, instead of fried food, she tries to bake foods a lot. I'm talking about things, whether it's something as simple as some baked chicken, and for those of y'all that are vegetarian, maybe even just some baked seasoned potatoes, things of that nature, right? Because this is the thing, when you're supplementing, you're taking away meat, you have to replace it with something where you can still get protein. Beans, avocados, and nuts. People sleep on how much protein that pistachios has in it, that peanuts has in it. Instead of going out and getting a bag of Lay's potato chips, why not pick up a bag of lightly salted peanuts? Guess what? You're getting a lot of protein, but instead of all this sodium and stuff. Me and my partner were talking this past weekend, and he was telling me, and he's had some health issues, right? Got unfortunately. He's a diabetic and he has high blood pressure, but he was telling me how conscious now he is of everything that he has to eat and stuff. Just a tablespoon of ranch dressing has over 300 milligrams of sodium in it. I mean, this stuff is crazy, and this is stuff that people don't know and they're not conscious of. So for the people that's watching this, I would just challenge you to say, hey, look, to kind of speak to your point, let's be realistic. A lot of people don't want to go cold turkey and just give up that meat, right? They don't want to give up that meat. But going back to what we talked about at the beginning, Dr. Kit, baby steps. Maybe you can't give it up. And we're not telling you to give it up. I'm not trying to advise that, even though it'd be better for you if you did. But guess what? Instead of having 2 scoops of mashed potatoes, maybe just replace that with a little bit of collard greens. Maybe just replace that with a little bit of cabbage. Maybe just put a little bit of spinach on there with just a sprinkling of little dressing on there, right? Because guess what I've found? When you do overconsume with all this meat and all these starches and stuff, not only are you more sluggish, your reaction is slower, and you're not as efficient. Not only are these 3 things happening to you, but now your mental capacity can't retain what you have to do. Your focus is off. But it tastes good, as opposed to the natural things that come from the earth, the natural things that we eat. I keep using spinach as an example because I love spinach. But even if it's something like kale, even if you're picking up something healthy like a natural sweet like an apple, that's a lot better than putting something in your body like a fried ham hog. Okay? And I'm just using this stuff as examples. Go ahead, Dr. Kit, right back to it.
Listen, thank you. This is some good stuff. But I was just wondering, when you eat, and you kind of touched on it, when you eat good food, you get clear skin, not just clear thinking power of it, but you get clear, because we're talking about exercise, and the relationship between exercise and good solid relationship, the creation of, the maintenance of, and the working through of good relationships. Okay. So I'm saying, when you eat good, you eat some good stuff, your skin is clear. People like to see people who are looking good, and you have all that energy. Okay. So can you speak a little bit more about the very positive relationship between working out and exercise? Because here again, exercise is good for you. So can you talk a little bit more about the relationship, the marriage between exercise and and the quality of good relationships.
Yes.
How does that work?
Going back to the basics of what we start this thing out with. Working out, for one, getting a good sweat in, right? Let's say you want to go to the gym and you don't have to do a lot. Let's say you just do 30 minutes at the gym. You get on the treadmill for 10. Let's say you're jogging for 10 minutes. Let's say you get off of there and then you're doing a bench press, right? Let's say you're doing that, or you do dumbbells for 10 minutes, right? You're getting your blood flowing, all of that's well and good. You feel good. I think, and what I'm going to kind of transition over into, how is this tying into the relationships?
Right.
When you've taken care of yourself from a physical perspective. I just read here earlier the fact that that came from the New York Post from Miss Marie Holland, right? You're naturally happier. You're in positive spirits. You have a greater light to give, so to speak, when you interact with people. That goes, so now we're finna transition into what he's talking about, relationships. If I'm not good, if I hadn't taken care of myself, if I hadn't worked out, if I've just gotten out of bed and I just start my day, I'm kind of winging it. Does that make sense? I'm kind of just really winging it if I haven't even done my self-care. My skin, if I'm not rubbing, if I'm not washing my face, if I'm not doing all this stuff, then how can I be good for anybody else? So now let's say, for example, I'll use me and my wife for an example. When I work out, I feel amazing, right? And I can tell, she could probably tell the days that that I slack up, and if I don't, because guess what? I'm coming with the glass halfway full. I have more to pour into her. I have more energy. I'm more alert. I'm more cognizant. I'm more prone to listen. I'm a better, oh man, let me speak on that. Sometimes we wonder why in relationships, I'm talking about a broad spectrum here, whether it's you're talking to a coworker or whether you're with your spouse, or I use an example of a person in line at Walmart. Sometimes we wonder, why do you find yourself moody at times? You probably hadn't taken care of yourself that day, maybe. Think about it. You know, if I hadn't woke up in the morning, if I hadn't did X, Y, Z, if I hadn't worked out, if I just kind of winged it and stuff, I might not have as much to pour. I don't have as much to pour in anyone else because I hadn't poured into myself. Okay. So getting back to the relationship aspect, what I find personally is I'm more, put that on silent, sorry. I'm more prone to meet a person where they are. I'm a better, oh baby, oh, you just listen. Let's say, for example, my wife says, hey Q, I need you to give me XYZ from the store. I need you to get me bring me back some apple juice and bring me back some milk and eggs. Let's say I go to the store, I get my shampoo, I get me some deodorant, and I get me let's say avocado and just throw some in there, right? And I come back and she's like, hey baby, where's my milk, eggs, and apple juice? Oh man, I forgot to get it, baby. I'm sorry. Why? Was it because I ate all this stuff for breakfast in the morning? Let's really evaluate this. Was it because I may have had some fried chicken that day? Was it because I didn't take care of myself? My mental capacity isn't as sharp and aware as it would have been? Well, let's see. I just told you earlier that, let's see here. Let's pull it back up. I just told you that being physically active can improve your brain health. This is coming right to you. This is facts. This isn't something that Q is just making up. This is brought to you right from Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Man, because I didn't work out, now I'm forgetting stuff. So we don't realize how this thing works. Now, so you're telling me I could be forgetting stuff because I didn't take care of myself that morning. It's something that seems so simple, but yet so profound. Is this making sense? Praise God. Thank you, Yolanda. Thank you. I start eating and sleeping better. My sex life dramatically improved. Okay, then. All right, 6'5". Longevity has greatly increased.
Woo!
Hey, man. Going in on here, man. They be going in on here. I love it. I love it. But yes, I hope it's making sense for the people that are watching. And just to kind of recap,
I think it is.
Praise
I
God.
think it is.
Because we could get much deeper. Go ahead.
Okay, let me just say this, though, that I just want to let people know that we're just talking about physical exercise, but there is a lot more in scope and breadth and systemically and holistically that contributes to, to life, the quality of a person's life. I just want them to know that. I just want them to know that, so that they're not just thinking, well, there's more, because there's some people who can't work out like you're talking about, who may not be able to eat the kind of foods you're talking about, may have for different reasons, but all of us can do something to make our lives a little bit better. So here is this, and we're probably going to wrap it up after this. So here it is. If we're talking about the building and the maintenance of relationships with your significant other, if at all possible, how do you see, or not recommend from a professional point of view, but just recommend from a good social point of view, the utility, the importance of, the goodness of working out together?
Man.
How would that strengthen relationships?
I'm trying not to get too hype. I'm trying to keep this energy that I got in, but I gotta let it out. Let it out. I'm gonna tell you why. Let me tell you what me and my wife do. There will be Saturday mornings or Sunday mornings where it's this place here in Huntsville called Indian Creek Greenway Trail. And she might say, you know what I'm talking about, down the street from Bridge Street. Yeah. And she might, he know what I'm talking about. And
I don't want people to know that I know where that place is.
And so she might say, and like I mentioned earlier with me, I'll probably run 5 miles, but she likes walking. She may speed walk, or she may do a little jog here there. After I finish those 5 miles, I come back, and guess what? I walk with her for 3 miles after those fouls. And guess what that does for your relationship? It makes your bond tighter. You know why? Because guess what? In addition to communicating verbally, my wife's love language is quality time. She loves when we do something together. It could be something as simple as watching a movie. But when it's something physical like walking, now she might have her headphones in because she's in the zone, but I'm right there next to her. And I can see a different type of appreciation after we finish working out together. She's in a better mood than before.
Okay.
And so to kind of speak to, go ahead, Dr. Kit, I'm sorry.
So we're not just talking about just walking and about just talking, but you just mentioned something. You talk about, the building of a relationship by the presence of the relationship, just being there and acknowledging that somebody else is here, that I'm doing something with, that is meaningful to me. That, I'm thinking, is a contribution to the quality of walking exercise and the building of relationships.
Absolutely. And I'm going to just piggyback off what you just said. You know how I look at it? I look at it like this. I'm making a deposit into our relationship.
Okay.
And guess what? Everybody knows this. If you go and get money out of your bank account, guess what? In order to get something out, there's got to be something There's got to be something in there, right? And so, every time with us personally, every time we do something together like that, it takes our relationship to another level. Whether we're conscious of it or not, our bond just got a little bit tighter. Our flow just got a little bit better. Because now, guess what? Now I'm just not feeling good. She's feeling good. And guess what? If she's feeling good for me and I'm feeling good for her, we on the even playing field now. Now, Q's energy isn't up and hers is not down here. Now hers is up and mine is too. Now, we can tackle this thing called life together and be one accord as God intended it to be, my brother.
All right, hey man, that's some amazing stuff. I like the way you tied in the fact that um, physical health, just walking and talking and touching, and I was adding to that, the exercise of, or the presence, just being there, giving that kind of acknowledgement that I'm worth spending time with, even though we're doing our own thing. In the end, we all come out better for the self and for each other. And this is where the refueling comes into, refueling the relationship. Because if you don't refuel your car, I will guarantee you it will stop on the side of the road. You know what I'm saying? And the car's looking pretty, but it ain't it can't help you. Okay, so I love the idea that you kind of merge really well the the um the physical component, the relationship between that and the building and the maintenance of good relationships. Listen, man, this has been good. I'm gonna have to get you back. Any one last thought that you want to leave with your views? I know you said a lot. I'm sure we've had some comments. I'm sure there are some questions that's coming out from this, and we're going to want to talk about those, at another time. But do you have any one last nugget that's gonna be a knockout for people? Say, wow, man, eye popping. Come on, man, lay it on us. Okay?
Absolutely. Right. My dad always says this quote, right? When we put stuff off and we procrastinate, nothing ever gets done when it's supposed to, right? So this is what I want to encourage everybody that's watching to do. There's no time like the present. Start doing something right now. Don't say, I'm gonna start next week. No. I'm gonna start on Thursday. No. You can do something tonight. Yeah. See, and let me just kind of speak on that. Physical health, this thing is so, it doesn't take a lot, but it's gonna pay you dividends long term like you wouldn't believe. For that person that's watching this right now, with Dr. Kit and myself, that's saying, well, man, I really don't have time. You can't afford not to. You got to make time. Does 2 minutes sound like a lot of time to you? Maybe not. If you ain't got 2 minutes, I mean, hey, we spend 2 minutes on our phone scrolling on Facebook. Why not spend that time doing jumping jacks? Why not spend that time doing 10 or 5 push-ups? Why not saying, hey, look, I got 30 minutes. Why not take a lap around the block? Something is better than nothing. That's the gem that I want to leave with people. I'm very practical, and I don't believe in overcomplicating things. I like making stuff simple. If you start now, you'll thank yourself later, okay? Do something. That's all I got, Dr. Kit.
No time like the present. You can do something right now. I like that. Okay. Yes. I like that, man. You have no idea what the message it was intended for me tonight. You see what I'm saying, man? You've been dropping those nuggets like hot rocks, man. It's But listen, I really appreciate you. And at another time, we'll get you back on and speak about some of the other aspects of holistic health. I'm not going to say what they are. You know what they are. You know what you might want to speak on, in your shakeup. But I really do appreciate you. Now, one last thing: do you have a way that people can contact you directly for some of the things, email, whatever you might want to?
Absolutely. Anybody can reach out to me. At LaQuaze Jackson. I'm on Facebook. That's the number one way that one of the best ways to reach out to me. LaQuaze T Jackson. That's LA capital Q lowercase U AIZE T Jackson. And all of my contact information is on there. You can send me a DM through there. I'm more than I'm an open book. I'm more than willing to help anybody with just some little tips and nuggets that I've learned throughout the course of this thing, man. Because like I said, every week I strive to stay active. And at least at least the majority of it I'm going to, you know, it's something that once you put it into your daily practice, it gets easier. That's another thing. Let me say this, Dr. Kit. Thank God, just thank you, God. When you do, a lot of times we put things off and we procrastinate. Once you start, you thank yourself because you didn't know how easy it was. And you could have been reaping these benefits all along. You know? And so just do that, man. Put it into work, put it into action. Like I said, no time like the present. Not going to hold you up and beat a dead horse, but you'll thank yourself later. God bless you guys.
All right. Listen, man. Thank you so much, Mr. QJ, man. I'm so glad to know that you took time out of your busy schedule. Young men like you that are upwardly mobile, that have things going on and things that you want to pass on to people. You know, I wish there was more like you. There are a lot out there, but I just wish there were more like you that would make yourself available to come on to the Shake Up, man. So I just want to say, listen, we're going to reach out to you again so you can talk to us about other aspects of relationships that are wedded to different types of physical exercising. Okay. So we want you to keep that in mind. All right, Mr. Q, man. I thank you again, and I thank you so much, and thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for just being a part of the show tonight. We had a good show. Good show for you know. Thank you. You're most welcome. Listen, if you like this platform, listen, I'm going to ask you to do what you got to do. What? Like it. Remember that. You got to like it. You got to follow. You got to share. Listen, when you share something, you're giving good things to other people. And subscribe, like it, follow. You follow people that you like. Follow things that you like. Following something or someone that's going somewhere will lead you to a good place. Okay, so do all of that. Not to be considered for future shows. I want you to reach out to my staff, you know, my team at Dr.KitSpeaks@gmail.com. And they will hook you up, as the young folks like to say. Okay, they'll talk to you in your own language, you know, to be considered for upcoming shows. Now, we're talking about relationships, the quality of relationship, the quality of interpersonal relationship, and it's more than just sitting there, just having good heartbeats and hot flashes and all this kind of stuff for each other. That's not what it is. That's not the only thing, but that's good stuff. But that's not the only thing. So, you know, our presenter tonight, you know, presented a different perspective. So we would just really like to have you come on. And if you want to talk, it doesn't matter what you want to talk about when it comes to interpersonal relationship. It might be your own life. It might be a part of your life. Maybe now, maybe where you want to go. You know, it doesn't matter. If you want to do it on camera, that's fine. If you want to do it off camera, that's fine. But I'm trying to get you to understand this one thing. Every time I get somebody to come on, okay, they are telling people something that I can't tell them. Why? Because every time you come on, you're sharing a piece of your experience. I don't have that experience. I may have that knowledge, but I don't have that experience. Experience is worth more than knowledge, okay? So just come on, call up my team, okay? Dr.KitSpeaks@gmail.com, and I will see you. Now, let me tell you again before I leave. Listen, on Sunday, when did I say? That's what they say in church, okay? On Sunday, okay, we're going to be talking about the five tips for keeping the spark alive in your relationship. Sunday, July the 2nd at 5 p.m. Central Time. Okay. So it's a free seminar. It's going to be maybe 45 minutes or so, an hour, no more. And you'll have time to not just listen to me, but you'll have time to ask your own questions right on there. And we'll get right into it with you. Okay. So please, 5 tips for keeping the sparks alive in your relationships. And we're going to get down to that. And then again on September 24th in the big ATL, rest stop. You know what the rest stop is? When you are working at whatever it is you're working at some point, you've got to pull off the highway and make a rest stop. You drive up down some Uncle Sam's interstate every so many miles, they have rest stop. You rest your vehicle, you rest yourself, you take comfort rest. You just rest and just talk and just eat and just chill out for a minute before you go back on the highway. So we're having this rest stop, refueling your relationship conference. It's going to be in Atlanta, September 24th. We're having until July 31st, end of this month. We'll be having special rates. Okay, couples will be coming in on this special rates of $349. You can't beat that for a whole day from 8 until 4. And if you're single, you can still come at $185. That's a special rate if you want to get in, because things might change. So just come on in, lock that in September 24th. Okay, lock your rate in. And not only that, tell some folks, get on your bullhorn and just blow it out there. Get on wherever you want to get on, get in touch with people. Okay, looking forward to seeing you. All right, be good. Thanks for hanging out with me. One more time, let's shake up. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.